I gotta always start off this thing by saying thank you, God. You know, I know that they're prepping this frame and these horrible things that's gonna happen to me, and I'm talking about purpose. Listen, Target Vigil, they do these things where there's a facade created, and they truly want you to accept this facade for this facade, right? They want you to believe whatever portrayal they have created. With me, it's just been humiliating because reality has been too much. Like, it's just they want me to dumb myself down to the point of no return. And I'm hearing these bottom feeders who are contracted to truly act this way. They are contracted and staffed in order to make me believe these storylines and this false reality. Um, some of the people are very sensible looking individual who have things going for them. Others are more childlike individuals. Others don't have much going for them. So this is even you can see there's different levels of individual, all kind of people involved in there, and you'll know this when you hear the testimony of target individual, women or men. You'll hear the same stories of people of all sorts involving themselves in this. Even women, they will see other women partake in this. Even women with children will see people with children and be involved in their targeting. They have no shame. Um, but with me, I'm not a woman, and so they try to portray themselves as this like we are just sensible group of avengers and wanting to vilify me and wanting me to accept this vilification. Now, the vilification that I'm experiencing is not just actual what I experience or what I've actually done, is what they make me experience a lot of time. Every day I'm being manipulated using this EEG cloning, EEG heterodyning technology where they literally manipulate how you experience whatever they want you to experience. They design, create the experiences that you experience, and then try to make you feel guilty for that. And it's been validated. You know, I was on a call with this man, sensible person, quote unquote, and they truly want to present themselves as that. And you know, this man, I remember like the way they were like had like he wanted to be seen as this great father and this and that, because what happened is when they make me see kids, from especially the little baby ones, they make me have these disgusting reactions, which is how they've designed for me to experience whatever I experience. The reaction I'm experiencing today is what is being manipulated me, what's been manipulated me into experiencing. This EEG cloning, EEG heterodyning, manipulating is truly rewiring brains. I was talking about it before I knew this actually existed. I remember when I didn't know anything about any of this, but I was experiencing these disgusting things, and I was trying to say, you know what? If this is, I have to speak to somebody. I have to let people know. I cannot just not do anything. So I sent like these emails and letters to people in media, not knowing that there's been thousands of people doing the same thing already because they've been going through that for years. Then I figured out after, and I'm listening to the letter I'm writing. I wrote like way before knowing anything about being a target individual. In the letter, I literally say, you know, I'm no longer being myself. I can't control my brain. My brain's being manipulated. The way I process is like not only my brain is being read, but it's being manipulated. It's like they are not only reading my brain, but they are manipulating my brain. I no longer have my own experiences. Something is changing me and my experiences, and it's been disturbing. I've said that before I knew anything, and then finding out, oh, all along there's been this program ongoing for years and years, and the Department of Defense has been running this program for decades. And then the more I go into that, I figure out, okay, they have these tactics. It's all similar. There's this vilification tactic. They try to make you believe anything that the reality, what this is really about. They try to make it seem like it's this group of people, this group of people. It's just disorienting you. When the truth is, obviously, the government is running this program, and they have this whole like strategy of creating this false reality onto the target individual. So I never identify with this. They call it their reality, right? It's a falsified reality. And now when they say that, I was like, yes, you're right. You're creating your reality, which is a falsified reality. It's this distorted reality. And they use these childlike people to interact with me, to agitate me the most, right? By this point, I was like, kind of helps the situation because it helps me not see this facade as if it's real, but just their reality. When you hear a child talking like that, you're like, and it's so disgusting. And I'm calling this video, they're horrible, honorable. That's what they call it. Because what they try to make it seems like we're gonna do horrible things, but it's gonna be honorable. First of all, one of these honorable, horrible things they're gonna do is they're gonna have this child say that did something to them. It's so disgusting, the things they were making me imagine, or what they tell me they're gonna say, or what things they've been saying. Apparently, there's some kind of interaction, communication, which I'm not aware of, right? And this is happening with a child. And apparently they try to portray this thing as if me and this child have been sexually doing or something, we've been doing things together or some. I'll figure out when the day comes. And so they will sing things like, oh, this, we talk about the sexual part of this, like, and then they draw my tongue up. And so I had to like put my tongue on top and then try to make me think of like oral sex, things like that. They do this manipulation. It's so disgusting. And they're like, you see, that's true. That's our reality. It's like, you're nasty. But I can only imagine who can come up with this kind of interaction with a child. These governmental entities have shown a trend of pedophilia. It's been an issue, ongoing issue, showing that the Department of Defense has been ranked 19th out of 2,900 for child porn trafficking, right? Pedophilia is a familiarity to them. It's something that that's the world they're in. Unfortunately, that's the truth because there's a whole bill called End National Defense Network Abuse Act because there was so much child porn traffic as this ranking came out. So to even come up with this, I don't even think about it like when I'm talking to a woman. So this trash to come up with this disgusting thing, it's like, yeah, do this nasty things. This is your horrible honorable. To see these things, I'm like, yeah, okay, that's honorable. Right? They say these things to try to agitate you. I'm like, yeah, please live this life. Please continue to live this horrible, honorable life. That's all I pray that you continue to live. And it's like, now you know why we're doing this? It's me pay for what you did as a kid. And I'm like, oh. And they're like, this abuse. They in a program, one of these honorable, horrible things they do is that they use children as test subject too. So you will find testimonials of the horrible things they do to children. Sorry, the horrible, honorable things they do to children. We talk about even sexual torture using DoD technology. What they've done to them is horrible. Suffocating a 7-year-old with all these testimonies out there. It's sure, it's been validated that they torture children in this horrible, honorable. They are literally doing, like, burning them, suffocating them, horrible things, which I guess is horrible, honorable. Babies, 3-week-old baby. They are abusing. It's not even abuse. I'm not even going. It's atrocities. They are torturing children. Now, the torture they do to them is not torture where they physically come and harm them. What they do is using this DoD technology and remotely harm them. In this honorable, horrible way they do things. So for me, it's like, you're a trash low life, and every time they try, no, that's abuse, and they talk about me in middle school. Now, it's been disgusting to see how much they have to exaggerate things to the point where the stories have been changed, and even to even add to it, to try to create this abusive reality. They talk about how, when I use my 2 fingers to hit the forearm of this kid, this younger kid, my 2 fingers. Matter of fact, if I do that to myself right now, I feel more pain than I should feel. Me doing this right now, I felt like my bone just being so fragile. To try to make me imagine that this is the pain this child was experiencing. I was a child myself, so you can only imagine. My fingers were even smaller than this. It's like, you see, that's abuse. While they are literally suffocating children and radiating them, making them sick, destroying their life. That to the point that whatever they can try to create to make this abusive facade of retardation. Just to be like, now you pay for what you did. Trash. You, me just doing that right now, I'm feeling the bruising of me barely hit myself. Because they want to make it look like that this is what this child was experiencing when I did this thing. My my two fingers of a 14, 13-year-old on the forearm. What they are literally doing these terrible things to these children. And then when it comes to the actual inappropriate thing I did as a child, it's what a child impulsively does, and they have to exaggerate to even try to make it seem like, she touched me or something, like to try to exaggerate, when the reality is, as a kid, I did something to myself in middle school, a truly inappropriate thing, but not what they want it to be. It's a thing that a child can do impulsively. And I recognize that a child is capable of doing that, but I know they have children, they know that, they can recognize it even better than me. So when they say that's abuse, I'm like, you are involved in a program that does these horrible things to babies, and you talk about a child in middle school can do this impulsive thing to himself, where the truth is they even try to exaggerate to make his physical contact, so in order to create this sexual abuse fantasy that they want it to be. And I will not let them live their fantasy. They think I can let them escape the torture of children that the program they're part of that torture children, to try to make me feel vilified about me as a middle schooler, a child who just, to the point that that's not even enough. Now they try to find, okay, what can we create? Oh, that's abuse. Those stupid, you did this. Oh, that's abuse. Trash. It's pathetic. And they're like, no, this is what we're gonna do to you, because what we're gonna do, we're gonna frame you. Then when we frame you, we're gonna do this and this. And not only they're framing me, but currently what my brain is what's happening to my brain is I'm being manipulated in this disgusting way. So every time I look at a child, I'm forced to see I'm forced to experience these nasty thoughts and reactions. Where like, now we mapped it to you as a kid. Trash. And truly want you to accept this. As if like it was so bad. It was so bad that this childlike individual, they always send the most childlike individuals to try to convince you of the most retarded thoughts. And I'm sorry for using that word, but that's the best word I can describe it. They are using childlike minded people who have no self-respect. Obviously, if anybody ever tells you we're making your brain be the brain of your brain when you were a kid, you know something's not right with them. Especially if you're an adult in your 30s and they try to make you be like, oh no, your brain is now an adult, your brain is being made to be the brain of what you had when you were like in middle school. You understand that doesn't make sense and it's illogical. But it's not even that, they're not even making my brain be my brain when I was a child. They just rewire my brain and try to make it look like that's what I was experiencing when I was a child. In every level you look at it, is mentally on the spectrum. But they've been rewiring my brain using this EEG cloning, EEG heterodyning, rewiring it. Literally having to restructure my brain to experience this. Manipulating me, implanting ways of these manipulations for me to experience that. I will not ever experience this naturally, organically, but I'm no longer me. I'm no longer organically me. I am just rewired to experience whatever they want. They can design me to experience whatever feeling and sensation, stimulation. Right now they say, girls. Earlier there's this person who said black girls, and I was like, do you understand that I know something called EEG heterodyning now? Or even before that, I knew this technology that cognitively can manipulate you. That this ability to rewire your brain, and it's like a cognitive warfare style. So they do things that will make you feel offensive, that will offend you, that will break you down. They're not gonna try to rewire you or manipulate you in a positive way. They're gonna make you feel disturbing things. I understand black girls, and you making me experience this stimulation is what my brain has been rewired to experience, because you can manipulate my brain this way. When I see a baby, I was seeing this trash. And I remember when I interviewed with this person, she had this child with her. And they were rewiring my brain this way to get this stimulation toward this little toddler. And she was looking at me like, There is something called EEG heterodyning, EEG cloning, where they literally alter your thoughts, alter your mind, make you experience the reaction they want you to experience. This man said that before I even met you. Whatever way I'm looking at this kid and this stimulation and perception is because my brain is rewired to experience this thing this way. And this person smiles like, oh, we mapped this. No, you are manipulating my brain. And then when they do this manipulation, they're like, no, that's how you felt when you were a kid. No. And listen to what you just said. Listen to the stupidity of what you just said. Of course, this makes no sense, even in the logical way that you're trying to say. No, you are manipulating the brain the way you've been manipulating other people's brain, because it's not even unique to me that they've forced people to have reaction towards children. It's a trend, it's a tactic they've done to others. They have been forcing people to have sexual stimulations toward children. They have made people have this reaction in order to push them into insanity. So this is validation on all fronts. And your logicalness is just so mentally spectrum-like. And like now we prove that everybody knows the reality of things. On top of that, you're working for governmental entities that's having so much issue with child porn. You tell me that you making them... No, this is part of this EEG heterodyning thing, where you can literally alter my brain to make me experience these disgusting things that you are making me experience, that I will not experience that even when I was a child. But I'm not even a child, so this is the most... So this is how my brain can be manipulated, because my brain is no longer mine. They have somehow captured my signal, my brain signal, able to reconstruct my brain signal in one way or another, restructure me, my thoughts, and make me experience that, and it happens like that. And you know this technology is technology that is coming from the DoD and DARPA. So we're talking about technology that's sophisticated in ways that is not even accepted, like it's magical. But the thing is, other people are saying the same thing before I even knew this thing existed. That's why it was just crazy. That's why you can't even be like, oh, you made it up. What? I was saying that before I knew this thing actually existed, and then hearing this person saying literally the same thing, I was like, okay. When was this thing said? Why is this person saying that? This is a bioethic in 2011. This man is talking about cognitive behavior manipulations. Cognitive manipulations. He's talking about EEG cloning or whatever in 2011. So, and there's plenty of people who say the same things. So for me, I'm like, I'll never let you live your fantasy. And they hold on too much onto me as a child to try to make me acceptive of this manipulation they do to me today. To try to find the ways to be logical. Now, this is part of this honorable, horrible that they do. That they want me to see them as like they're so like avenging. We're just so severe. Yeah, you severely torture children too. You understand the games they play? There's this testimony of this woman say how she saw this 7-year-old severely gasping for air, right? Because they were restricting her lungs. This technology can do things to your body, to your organs remotely. They have experienced that too. I've experienced something of that nature before I knew about these testimonials. I remember gasping for air. I felt like air was not coming in or something like that. And so this woman keeps saying the word severe. It's like, no, it's severe. We're severe. They like to play these word games with you. That's just nonsensical. And they have no shame. That's why I'm like, these people are just magical, in a sense of how mentally dumbed down they have to make themselves. I'm not saying they're mentally dumb. I'm not. They just have to stoop to that level. Because it's part of these ways of trying to make me accept this manipulation, to push me into insanity. But I know they have to go this way to do that. When I see a mother with kids and to try to be like, no, it's not severe. And she's in a program where they severely torture children. And she wants me to be like, no, we're just severe because what you did as a kid, even though you were a kid, we're severe like that we're going to torture you like that. And like, oh, but you're so not severe that you will not be severely torturing sorry, you not be, it's so severe, but you be involved in a program that severely torture children. This baby just, we talk about babies being tortured. They can't even play this like, like I don't care. What you were a kid. This is wrong. What you is it? Yeah, but you do care about children, right? Okay. So if you care about children, why would you be involved in a program where they would sexually torture a 3-year-old? Where a mother says something about her and her young child being used as test subject, and sexual torture probably is happening there. Why would you be involved in a program where they make a kid so sick that they think that this 3-week-old poor baby is dying? Where they will severely suffocate a 7-year-old kid with autism and sexually torture a 4-year-old with Down syndrome and her older sister who's 5 years old with Down syndrome. Because you're an opportunist low life, and what you're trying to do is use what I did as a child, exaggerate that because you want to be, make it look more like less of an impulsive act of a child in middle school, and try to create some more exaggeration to make it worse than what I actually did as a kid. Which kids at that age, unfortunately, the impulsiveness of a child around that age is what of a child that age. They can do this and never ever do anything like that again. Just the impulsiveness of this child-minded person, like a kid. But I'm talking to people who torture children, and they have plenty of kids. They know how kids can process things or not process things. So I'm not talking to just, like some of them are truly children, but some of them are grown people with kids of all ages. So this honorable, horrible they talk about is the same program where they do these horrible, honorable things to babies, where they do these horrible, honorable things to women, where they cause mass shooting, but it's horrible but honorable. That's what they're part of. So yes, they are horrible and honorable, but that's the type of honorable we talk about. People who torture children, women, men, and cause mass shooting, and the cowardness that you should see. Oh my gosh, it's as horrible as they are. They can do horrible things to you from such a cowardly way. They just coward horrible shit. Now, for me, I'm gonna die a horrible life, horrible death. I know they've been too humiliated. The reason why it's gonna be even worse than perhaps a typical target individual is because I've been continuously provoking them by reality. I've shown reality in ways that they hate reality. They want to live with their reality. They call it their reality for a reason. It's something they put together to cope with reality. I've been continuously bringing that mirror that they hate because it's reality. And so they think that's the horrible thing I'm going to go through, as horrible I'm going to be, this starving, this death, the torture, whatever is going to, it should help them keep their reality, which is delusional because it's not going to happen. And I make sure that I don't give them an ounce of their reality. They're going to hear reality till my last breath. And if I can't do that, at least I made these videos enough. And then when they try to present their reality in front of me, it's not going to be good because at this point, not only I know how horrible they are to women, not only I know how horrible they are to children, not only I know they're required to bring these disgusting ways, but I know that the entities that they work for have so much issue with pedophilia that if you search National Defense Network Abuse Act, you'll see this freaking disturbing aspect of things that the entities who've been working on this technology that can manipulate you and do these horrible things to me or to you remotely have had trends of issues that are disturbing. And one obvious aspect to show that they perhaps are a danger to children is these entities have been trafficking so much child porn using the DoD network, using the DoD computers, that a agency specific to Child Protective Services in 2018, while ranking network based on the amount of child porn they're trafficking within this network, internet networks, computer networks. The Department of Defense was being ranked top tier. In 2018, that top tier was 19th out of 2,900. That is really high up there. And this is happening on the computers of provided to them by the DoD. This is not their private computers. This is the private. Those are the computers. Their work computers. Their DoD work computers on the DoD work network. These are the people who are severe with the honorable horrible. This is why this horrible thing that's going to happen to me is supposed to happen to me, because this kind of humiliation is what they're trying to escape from. As they like now pay back for what she did as a kid. When they're working for governmental entities that have this issue, and we're not talking about what they do to children. You can only imagine if people were downloading and trafficking that much child porn, what will happen if they were around children? So to all my target individual, you are honorable. Regardless of whatever horrible things you're going through, this trash are horrible low life. What they call honorable is just horrible. I rather die in hell. I'm not perfect, and you'll see that I know myself and I know my imperfection. I will never identify with this manipulation, and I will never play myself as a saint. But I will never let people involved in this program that does these horrible things, which they call these honorable horrible things, who do these terrible destructive things to men, women, and children, try to vilify me. Like I said, I'm not perfect, but there is not a speck of an individual who is not involved in this program, who have this even got close to destroying, or even they even think of me in a negative way, in the sense of like I've been an impact in their life in a negative way. Please, I'm saying I'm not perfect. I know my imperfections, but I can reassure you there's nobody who can say, me, this guy, oh, he impacted me so negatively. Never. But they're going to frame me, and I'm looking forward to see these children that they're going to frame part of their horrible honorable. And you know, I don't need to be a prophet to know that children that at this age are being guided to frame people, saying that a person raped them when it's not true, or are working on something of that nature. You know the future is not bright for anybody who does this. But me saying that is not part of their reality. Because there's no way somebody's going to be psychologically okay. This is not the things you move on. Oh, when I was 14, at that time when I was like 14 years old, I remember I worked with this program where we were framing this man. I told them that he raped me, he did this. Never. Never. But I just want to say thank you, God, because I'm able to see things for they are. And I will never identify with these EEG heroining ways of manipulating my brain. And I will never let them live their fantasy of what they try to present themselves as. To all my target individuals, stay strong.